and welcome to the New York Metropolitan Transportation Council's Program Finance and Administration Committee, or PFAC meeting. I am Deborah Nelson, the chair of PFAC, and representing the New York State Department of Transportation Commissioner Marie-Therese Dominguez. This meeting is being recorded, and the recording will be posted on the NYMTC website within the next 2 weeks. Today's meeting is available by webinar as well as in person at the NYMTC office located at 25 Beaver Street in Lower Manhattan. For the meeting audience who are on the webinar, your lines will remain muted throughout the meeting. The chat pod is being monitored by NYMTC staff. During the public participation section of the agenda, registered speakers will be called on in the order of their registration. Registered speakers who are participating by webinar will be called on and their lines unmuted for their remarks. At this time, I will begin the roll call. When I say your agency, I ask that each representative state your name and the NYMTC principal that you are representing. I am Deborah Nelson, and I am representing the New York State Department of Transportation Commissioner Marie-Therese Dominguez. Next, New York City Department of Transportation.
Hi, I am Yogesh Sangvi, representing New York City DOT Commissioner Idanis Rodriguez.
Thank you, Yogesh. New York City Department of City Planning. Okay. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Do we have anyone on from the MTA? Okay, we'll come back. Nassau County.
Hi, this is Joe Cuomo, representing Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman.
Thank you, Joe. Suffolk County.
Hi, this is Chris Chatterton, representing Suffolk County Executive Ed Romaine.
Thank you. Rockland County.
Pat Gurdon, representing Rockland County Executive Ed Day.
Thank you, Pat. Putnam County.
Hello, Barbara Barossa, representing Putnam County Executive Kevin Byrne.
Thank you. And Westchester County.
Good morning. Craig Lader, representing Westchester County Executive George Latimer.
Thank you, Craig. MTA, Tiana, if you try hitting *6, see if that unmutes your line. Let's try it. MTA? Okay. We have Tiana Grimes from MTA, but her line is not coming unmuted. For the advisory members, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey.
Good morning, Deborah. This is Jay Sheffield, representing the Port Authority's Executive Director, Rick Coffey.
Thank you, Jay. It is a little hard to hear you, just so you know. The New Jersey Transit. All right. How about North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority?
Hi, everybody. Good morning. Ted Ritter, NJTPA staff. I'm representing Executive Director David Behrens.
Thank you. New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. All right. How about the Federal Transit Administration?
Good morning. This is Dan Moser, representing FTA Region 2 Administrator Mike Collada.
Thank you, Dan. Federal Highway Administration.
Good morning, everyone. This is Gautam Mani, representing New York Division Administrator Rick Markey.
Thank you, Gautam. And then the United States Environmental Protection Agency.
We have Tran, representing Region 2 Regional Administrator, Lisa Garcia.
Thank you. Thank you. And by my count, under our operating procedures, we have a quorum for today's meeting. We will now hear from NYMTC's Executive Director, Adam Levine, who will give his report. Adam?
Thank you, Deborah. Good morning, everyone.
The following are some of the noteworthy events that have taken place since our last meeting in mid-February. As usual, it has been quite a busy winter into spring here at NYMTC, and here are several highlights of the extraordinary work we have underway. I'll start off where we ended last, at our annual council meeting at the U.S. Custom House on February 29th. It was our first in-person meeting since 2020, and by all measures, it was very successful. Our Unified Planning Work Program for state fiscal year 2024 to 2025 was successfully adopted, consisting of both core activities and discretionary projects that will benefit all who live, work, and travel in the NYMTC region for years to come. Our co-chairs, Commissioner Dominguez and County Executive Latimer, reflected on the central importance of transportation in remarks that were both personal and perfectly aligned with this year's theme, Connecting Communities. Our keynote speakers, FHWA Administrator Shaylin Bott and FTA Acting Administrator Veronica Vanderpool, shared the federal perspective on issues including safety and transit connectivity. We bid thankful farewells to former Suffolk County Executive Steve Ballone and former FTA Regional Administrator Stephen Goodman, and we welcomed Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman into his role as Council Co-Chair for 2024 to 2025. Feedback on the meeting from the 100 attendees was overwhelmingly positive, and we are already looking forward to next year's meeting. Next, we have an update to share on our transportation conformity efforts. Transportation conformity is required by the Clean Air Act to ensure that federal funding and approval are given to highway and transit projects that are consistent with or conform to air quality goals. As noted in previous meetings, NYMTC is undertaking a conformity determination in calendar year 2024 to accommodate several amendments to the current 2023 to 2027 Transportation Improvement Program. The final draft of the calendar year 2024 Transportation Conformity Determination has been completed and will be posted for a 30-day public comment period beginning on April 24th. On May 2nd, we'll hold 2 webinars for the public to inform them of our findings and gather feedback. The development of our next regional transportation plan, moving forward 2055, continues to make progress. The new plan will cover federal fiscal years 2026 to 2055. Initial topical workshops on freight and active transportation were held earlier this month, with another one on accessibility taking place on April 30th. Additional topical workshops will come later in the spring, and the new plan is scheduled to be adopted in September 2025. The forecasting working group met in March and agreed upon a final draft set of adjusted 2055 socioeconomic and demographic forecasts, which will be recommended for adoption at our next PFAC meeting in June. These forecasts of population and employment for the 31-county metro area will be used in moving forward 2055, as well as in NYMTC's travel demand model, the New York best practice model, for various studies and regulatory products. The draft adjusted forecasts will be posted for a 30-day public comment period beginning April 24th, the same date as our conformity determination posting, with 2 webinars for the public being held on May 9th. NYMTC held our third Thriving Communities Network meeting last month. The focus of the meeting was on the federal funding process, and it included a presentation from New York City DOT on their efforts to apply for competitive grants. Future Thriving Communities Network efforts will involve surveying attendees to gauge what information and resources would best fit their needs as we plan our upcoming meetings. Our Palisades Shared Use Path Feasibility Study held 3 virtual workshops last month. Attendance and feedback were robust, with residents and other attendees sharing their concerns and giving the study team excellent feedback. Upcoming in-person workshops are still to be scheduled. A few additional items worth mentioning. Our 2022 Hubbound report was released last month. The report captures the number of people who enter Manhattan south of 60th Street across all modes of travel. As expected, travel into the hub increased compared with 2021 by over 750,000 people, or 16%. Travel into the hub by transit was up 24%, with bicycle travel up 12% and ferry travel up 26%. The full report is available on our website, nymtc.org. NYMTC hosted another very successful brown bag event on April 4th. Entitled Grid Readiness and Infrastructure Resilience, this timely event included presentations from NYSERDA, the New York Power Authority, National Grid, and Con Edison on their efforts to make New York greener by amping up the state's electrical grid and highway charging efforts. These efforts align with the New York State Electric Vehicles Initiative, and the progress they shared was truly impressive. Upcoming brown bag events will focus on the Vision Zero program in Hoboken on May 16th and freight development in Eastern Pennsylvania on June 12th. We hope to see you there. Through our host agency, New York State DOT, we released a request for proposals for NYMTC's next regional household travel survey. In a related effort, our travel survey community of practice has been developing documentation that will outline the guiding principles for survey development, the mission and vision for the group, and the process for introducing new or updating survey concepts. It will be presented at the next full community of practice meeting to be held next month. As I close my report, I want to thank the amazing staff here at NYMTC, as well as our members, for all of your hard work. Your dedication and service to the people of New York City, Long Island, and the Lower Hudson Valley is, as always, very much appreciated. And with that, I'll pass the virtual microphone back over to Deborah.
Thank you, Adam. As always, very impressive. Lots of good work being done by lots of great people. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We will now hear a presentation on the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project given by Kenneth Garcia of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. Kenneth, take it away.
Thank you. Confirm everybody can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Great, thank you. So today I'll thank you for the opportunity to give you an update on the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project. So as you're aware, the Port Authority is engaging to replace the current bus terminal with a new bus terminal that will be located at the current location between 8th Avenue on the east and 11th Avenue on the west, between 42nd Street and 40th Street, the confines. This is comprised of a main terminal, a staging and storage facility here in blue, and a ramp structure that will support the terminal and the storage and staging facility. There is also, in green, you'll see there's going to be 2 deckovers between 39th and 37th Street, between 9th Avenue and 10th Avenue, and those will be constructed over depressed roadways. This is all being constructed over existing PA property. There's no private property acquisition. There are also 2 towers to be located on 8th Avenue. So next, I'll give you an update on the timeline for this project. So currently, we're in the NEPA environmental review process on the NEPA project, and the process started in June of 2021 with the notice of intent. We published the draft environmental impact statement this year in February of 24. The comment period was closed on March 18th, and we anticipate receiving a final EIS and a record of decision this summer. In order to get the ROD, we are requesting that this project be added to the TIP in order to receive the record of decision. This is a proposed phasing for the project. So currently we are in the environmental ULURP in procurement process, and that is expected through the end of this year. Next will be construction of the first phase of the project, which is the construction of the bus staging and storage facility, and which will be a temporary terminal, and also the ramp structures. And that will be a 4-year process through 2028. After that, we'll be able to open the temporary facility and do the demolition and construction of the main terminal between 2028 and 2032. So now I'll go through a couple of the facility we're building in 32. This is this first phase. Like I said, the main staging and storage facility here will be used as a temporary terminal that will allow us to relocate operations in order to make sure that we maintain bus operations during construction and the demolition of the main terminal. We also have some operations on the 2 deckovers, as well as some on curbside. The next, and that is, and thus was 4 years. And then we have the main terminal construction after we open up the temporary terminal. That will be a 4-year construction. And then we'd subsequently relocate operations into the main terminal and then convert the temporary terminal into a staging and storage facility that will allow us to provide service to the main terminal by having staging and storage close to the terminal and not on-street operations as it is now, which congested the street network. So that idea is that staging and storage will alleviate any congestions. So that is the extent. Do you have any questions? That was the extent of it. Thank you for your time.
All right, great. Thank you, Kenneth. That was very informative. Do any of the members have any questions related to this presentation? All right, if not, do any, Stephanie, we do have some time if we have questions. Are there any questions in the chat pod?
There are no questions in the chat right now, but I'll continue to look and see.
Super, thank you. All right, well, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you for your time and for your presentation. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda. We're now going to begin the public participation segment of this meeting. We will hear from registered speakers with prepared remarks. Each speaker will have up to 3 minutes to give their remarks. We will hear from those participants in the order in which they have registered, and we ask that all speakers limit their comments to relevant transportation and planning related items. Andrea, are there any registered speakers for today's meeting?
No, there are not.
All right, great, thank you. Well, then we'll now move on to the action items on the agenda. All material related to these action items have been posted on the NYMTC website at www.nymtc.org. The first action is to accept the February 15th, 2024 PFAC meeting synopsis. I ask that all members announce your name and the agency you represent when you make or second a motion. May I have a motion to accept the February 15th, 2024 meeting synopsis?
Motion, Barbara Barosa, Putnam County.
Great, thank you, Barbara. May I have a second?
Joe Cuomo from Nassau County will second that.
Thank you, Joe. Does anyone object to the motion? All right, hearing no objections, the meeting synopsis is accepted. Thank you all. The next action item is to adopt resolution number 576, amendment to the federal fiscal years 2022 to 2050 regional transportation plan. And that's to add the Midtown bus terminal replacement project that we just heard about as a major metropolitan transportation investment. I will now ask Larissa of NYMTC staff to introduce this resolution.
Thank you, Deborah. Good morning, everyone. As Deborah mentioned, this is a resolution to for the bus terminal. Following interagency consultation, the Midtown bus terminal replacement projects is to be moved from the plan's vision element to its fiscally constrained element as a major metropolitan transportation investment. Details of the project was sent to the members ahead of time of the meeting, as we mentioned. And given the nature of the proposed financing, the plan's fiscal constraint will be maintained as required to establish project eligibility for federal funding. So we are asking today our PFAC members to amend the federal fiscal year 2022-2050 plan to include the Midtown bus terminal replacement project as a major metropolitan transportation investment in its fiscally constrained element.
Thank you, Larissa. May I have a motion to adopt resolution number 576, an amendment to the federal fiscal years 2022 to 2050 regional transportation plan to add the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project as a major metropolitan transportation investment?
Motion, Craig Later, Westchester County.
Thank you, Craig. May I have a second?
Second, Chris Chatterton, Suffolk County.
Great. Thank you, Chris. Is there any discussion? All right, then I will now have the vote taken by roll call, starting with the lower Hudson Valley. Putnam County?
Aye.
Rockland County?
Aye.
Westchester County?
Aye.
All right, moving to Long Island. Nassau County?
Aye.
Suffolk County?
Aye.
All right, New York City. New York City Department of Transportation?
Aye.
New York City Department of City Planning? And finally, Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Aye. Tiana Grimes.
Great. Thank you. And then for New York State Department of Transportation, votes aye. Thank you all, and the motion passes. The next action item is to adopt resolution number 577, amendment to the federal fiscal years 2023 to 2027 transportation improvement program to include the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project that we just heard about. I will now ask Carl King of NYMTC staff to introduce this resolution. Carl?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Great, thank you. Good day, everyone. I am here to represent Resolution 577. It's an amendment to the federal fiscal year 2023-2027 Transportation Improvement Program to include the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project. NYMTC is responsible for developing a transportation improvement program. NYMTC is responsible for developing a transportation improvement program in cooperation with the state and public transportation operators. The Port Authority of New York, New Jersey has initiated this project of region-wide significance, the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project. And it should also be included in the federal fiscal year 2023-2027 Transportation Improvement Project. The Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project is currently included in the constrained portion of the Regional Transportation Program. Okay, it's currently in the Regional Transportation Program. It is also been identified. It's also identified as exempt within for the recent conformity determination. Therefore, the project will not reduce the physical constraint of the current FFY 23 to 27 Transportation Improvement Program. I therefore ask that we adopt Resolution 577 to amend the FFY 23 to 27 Transportation Improvement Program to include the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Carl. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 577, amendment to the federal fiscal years 2023 to 2027 Transportation Improvement Program to include the Midtown Bus Terminal Replacement Project?
Motion, Pat Gurdon, Rockland County.
Thank you, Pat. May I have a second?
Second, Joe Cuomo, Nassau County.
Great, thank you, Joe. Is there any discussion? All right, well, once again, then we will take the vote by roll call, starting in the lower Hudson Valley. Putnam County,
Aye.
Rockland County,
Aye.
Westchester County,
Aye.
and Long Island, Nassau County,
Aye.
Suffolk County.
Aye.
Thank you. And moving to New York City Department of Transportation,
Aye.
New York City Department of City Planning, I do not believe they're on. Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Aye.
Great, thank you. And then for New York State Department of Transportation, we vote aye. Thank you all, and the motion passes. The next action item on this meeting, is to adopt resolution number 578, amendments to the state fiscal year 2023 to 2024 Unified Planning Work Program. I will now ask Seitu Allen of NYMTC staff to introduce this resolution.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So this resolution includes actions requested by the New York City Department of Transportation, and that is to increase program funding for various planning activities in the 23-24 UPWP retroactively due to higher than anticipated costs for completing those activities. No new funds are requested. Therefore, NYMTC staff requests that the PFAC please adopt this resolution.
Great, thank you, Seitu. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 578, amendments to the state fiscal year 2023-2024 Unified Planning Work Program?
Joe Cuomo, Nassau County, will make a motion.
Thank you, Joe. May I have a second?
Second, Craig Later, Westchester County.
Thank you, Craig. Do we have any discussion? All right, having none, I will now vote again by roll call, starting with the lower Hudson Valley. Putnam County.
Aye.
Rockland County.
Aye.
Westchester County.
Aye.
Moving to Long Island, Nassau County.
Aye.
Suffolk County.
Aye.
All right, moving to New York City Department of Transportation.
Aye.
All right, New York City Department of City Planning is absent. So finally moving on to Metropolitan Transportation Authority.
Aye.
And New York State Department of Transportation votes aye. Thank you all. The motion passes. So the next PFAC meeting is scheduled for Thursday, June 20th, 2024. Details of this meeting will be made available 2 weeks prior to the meeting date. So with that, I'd like to conclude today's meeting, and I ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion, Barbara Barosa, Putnam County.
Thank you, Barbara. May I have a second? Could I have a second to adjourn this meeting, even if you want to stay?
Joe Cuomo, Nassau County, will second it.
Thank you, Joe. Does anyone object to this motion? All right, then hearing none, this meeting is adjourned, and I thank everyone and wish you all a good day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.